I can continue that, then I felt that maybe it is worth living, it is worth staying in this world. So, so therefore, although I am completely devoid of any knowledge, any strength, any understanding about the science of devotional life, so that by the wonderful mercy of Srila Prabhupada, so many wonderful Vaishnavas, so many qualified Vaishnavas, but more qualified than this insignificant self. So by the mercy of Prabhupada and by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by his arrangement, so many wonderful living entities, jivas, jivatmas, souls, great souls, are actually coming to actually help this divine mission called International Society of Krishna Consciousness. And so in that, there's the Bhaktivedanta Institute that most of you have spoken earlier. But this Bhaktivedanta Institute is an important wing of this society, Krishna Conscious Society. But the primary task of accomplishing this Bhaktivedanta Institute preaching is actually to inspire, to actually to give this knowledge of Bhagavata science, the science of Bhagavatam, the science of Bhagavad Gita, the science of Sanatana Dharma, the science of Krishna conscious culture, in the minds of the scientists and the scholars of the world. So this is actually the task of the Bhaktivedanta Institute, which Srila Prabhupada was so much enthusiastic of accomplishing this part of preaching. This was started in 1974 in Vrindavan. When I came for the first time from the United States to visit Srila Prabhupada in Vrindavan, that was 1974. That was his Vyasa Pooja celebration and also Krishna Janmashtami celebration. So that was in the month of August 1974. So at that time, Prabhupada instructed me for 15 days in Vrindavan how to preach Krishna consciousness among the scientists and the scholars and the philosophers and the leaders of the world. So therefore, from that year on, 1974 up to 1977, the Prabhupada was continuously contemplating how to plan ways and means, how to arrange this preaching of Krishna consciousness among the scientists and scholars. In fact, one time he wrote me a letter saying that I should collect all the names of all the devotees who have a degree in the BA, BS, Bachelor of Science, and Master of Science, and Master of Arts, MAs, and PhDs, Doctor of Philosophy students in our movement. Said I should collect all the names from all over the world, so that there is a scholarly devotees will be engaged in this preaching of Krishna consciousness among these scholars and the scientists around the world. So that Prabhupada, up to the last minute, even up to the 1977, when he was departing from Vrindavan, so up to the last minute, up to the last night, the night that you will be leaving the next morning, the next evening, that night, even he told me at midnight, so he was remembering what he was preaching, he was instructing me during the Venice Beach, this morning walk instructions. He said, are you convinced about this Krishna consciousness? So he was, even up to the last minute, he was remembering about this preaching of Krishna consciousness among scientists and scholars. So this is very, very dear to Srila Prabhupada. So, now seeing over the years how the preaching has developed in this scientific preaching. So mainly the work in Bombay. Bombay is actually we started this office. Actually, Prabhupada said we should have the best office of Bhaktivedanta Institute in Bombay. Therefore, he sent me from Vrindavan. I was going to Boston. So that June 1977, in June, that I was coming from Vrindavan, from Prabhupada to Bombay. Prabhupada said, go to Bombay and select the best offices, select the best rooms for inviting scholars and the students, scholar communities from, not only from India, but from all over the world. So go and select. So that's how we came. And so Prabhupada, over the years, so Prabhupada wanted to make sure that this Bhaktivedanta Institute preaching is not hampered by any other unwanted forces. But however, after the departure of Srila Prabhupada, we encountered several difficulties. But nonetheless, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, it is going on, and now, especially by the hard work and by the intelligent work of the members of the Bhaktivedanta Institute, especially in Bombay. In Bombay, now it has come up to a standard, to a stage that I feel very confident that Prabhupada will be extremely happy how the Bhaktivedanta Institute is developing at this stage. And this, of course, now there are many members here in Bombay. Of course, among them our Sriman Vyasa. He has given his life, and when I met him in Detroit, that was in the early 80s. When I heard that he's there, so I went there. But I was looking for a very competent devotee, because it was very difficult to find. And when I heard that, I went there. So then he only told me that he wanted to do a lot of work. But whether he was asking me whether he will have enough work to do this. I say, because by nature he is very active. And if he doesn't find enough work, then he may get bored or he may go away. So I said, oh, there will be plenty of work. So, and definitely in the last few years, since by the hard work of Rashras, and I even myself, I sometimes get to see over the years, because of my other involvement, other things, actually I was not putting enough energy but Rashras, actually by the hard work, I think things are coming up in a much more way. So I'm sure that this will be most pleasing to his divine grace in the Prabhupada. And so I was amazed that even this year alone, with so many wonderful scholars, the most brilliant scientists, mathematicians from South Africa, like Victoria University, and scholars from in the Bay Area in California, and so many scholars from the university, like University of California, Berkeley, and many scholars. They are coming to Bhaktivedanta Institute in Oakland, in California. But they are coming with a very serious, strong desire to discuss about the very high philosophical and the scientific aspects, how this Vedic knowledge, the science of Bhagavatam, how the science of philosophy, how these instructions in the Gita, the conclusions of Gita and Bhagavatam, how this could be understood, and also from this knowledge, how the modern science can be improved, how the modern science, the difficulties that we encounter in the modern science, how it could be solved by understanding, by incorporating the science and the philosophy is given in the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita. So therefore, many of these Western scholars and the scientists are coming to actually with a genuine interest to actually receive knowledge from Srimad Bhagavatam. They are not coming in an ordinary way. So I feel that Prabhupada will be extremely pleased. And Prabhupada told me one day, in fact wrote me a letter, saying that if I can convince one scientist, then that's all. But now there are so many scientists that so Prabhupada will be extremely pleased. So I'd like to thank our Sriman Rashtra Das for his giving all his life and energy and everything to please the Prabhupada. Similarly, I also like to thank our Sriman Kapila Dev. So he has been working, or he joined, he's a chemical engineer, worked here in Bombay in some big company. But then when we are relating about his Bhaktivedanta Institute, then he became much more interested. So he resigned his important job in Bombay as an engineer, chemical engineer, and taking full responsibility. He are in trying to develop this Bhaktivedanta Institute projects in Bombay. And because of their sacrifice, these things are happening. Similarly, I would like to thank our Sriman Mukunda Madhava. Mukunda Madhava is a very young scholar. He's been called from IIT Bombay. He was doing his PhD in engineering. But then somehow by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, so he was caught in the Bhaktivedanta Institute. So we should know that we have a big net. We are putting this somehow Bhaktivedanta Institute net all over the world. So we want to get the scholarly and the intelligent and these students and the scholars, young scholars all over the world. So this is actually Prabhupada's net. Prabhupada is putting this net, wonderful net, gets all these wonderful scholarly, intelligent devotees, so that his mission will be assisted by the participation of these scholarly devotees. So similarly, I thank all our Bhaktivedanta Institute members and also devotees here in Bombay. They have been very extremely helpful in all fronts of our, making this Bhaktivedanta Institute growing up slowly, like financially, like helping in the life membership programs, and also the devotees coming because of the helping of the devotees from all other departments, from the Bombay, from ISKCON Bombay. So therefore, I'd like to thank all the devotees in Bombay that by their kind help, this preaching is slowly becoming manifest. So therefore, one of the landmarks here in Bombay is that by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we are praying that in 1996, so the Master of Science program in the consciousness studies. This is the first of its kind in history in the world. So this is the first kind giving Master of Science degree in the study of consciousness. So that will be offered here as a part of Srila Prabhupada's centennial inauguration in 1996. And so this is in connection, in relation with a very prestigious engineering institution called the BITS, Birla Institute of Technology and Science. It's a very prestigious engineering institution in India. So by the collaboration of Bhaktivedanta Institute and this engineering institution, BITS, so this Master of Science degree will be granted. So this will be first time in the history of Krishna consciousness. Such a thing is happening. This was like a small university type of project. So with that, we'll be able to attract many scholars from many fields, like science, like neurosciences, like physicists, like quantum physicists, then a psychologist, then a biologist, then philosophers, and so many scholars will be attracted by this program. So therefore, it has a wonderful potential. Also, this work has been actually also manifest by Sriman Rasta's efforts. So, the director of the BITS, Birla Institute of Technology and Science, he came to the United States. That was the previous month. He came, so he stayed with us for about 2-3 nights, and so trying to find ways and means how to do things, how to make this program safe properly, and so that the scholars are, so therefore the scholars are extremely enthusiastic. So therefore, we are praying that by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so that these preaching projects will grow, so that the whole world will become Krishna conscious. One thing Prabhupada said about the scientists is that this modern world is actually led by the scientists, by science and technology. So we say if the scientists say something, that the whole world will believe, is convinced that. So therefore, if the scientists become devotees of Krishna, and if the one or two Nobel laureates of the scientists that preach about Krishna, then the whole world will be Krishna conscious. So there is a substance to that, because when the scientists say that oh yes, Krishna is the origin of everything, he is the supreme source of everything. When the scientists come to that conclusion, then the whole world will become Krishna conscious. So, so we are praying that to give us the blessings, and so that we can render some seva, can develop this seva to please the Prabhupada. Therefore, on this day, although you have said so many nice things about me, but actually I am very, very worthless. I have very, very little brain. My brain is smaller than the brain of a mosquito. So with that, I cannot conceive many, many important things. So therefore, but by your blessings, also by the blessings of Srila Prabhupada, and by the blessings of the Supreme Lord, if I can render, if I can develop this mood of serving, how to serve Srila Prabhupada's order, so that will be the highest benediction that you can offer, that you can give it to me. So with that, now just getting late, so I'd like to thank all of you for being present. A lot of devotees came from France, and the devotees came from the United States, and our devotee from Russia, and devotees from various parts of India, like Eastern India, North India, South India. So, and also many guests from Bombay, our life members, our well-wishers, and many, many friends and students, scholars. So I'd like to thank all of you for your kind presence. And this prasadam today is actually some artwork in the Eastern Manipuri style. So there are, in Manipur, in this season, especially in the season of this winter after the harvest, there are special, like the plants that grow in Manipur only. I have traveled all over the world, but I haven't seen something like that. So we have brought these special items from Manipur, like of course, this is called coca. Coca is a small root like that, but it is a very, very special root. You can only find in Manipur. And similarly, there are various preparations from lotus root, and there are special type of preparation from plantain flowers. And then there are some other special items like black rice. These are natural black rice. It grows in Manipur and Burma, in that part of the world. So these are some of the special preparations. So please, nobody should go without taking food prasadam. So please honor prasadam. That will be my humble request. Please stay, everyone, please stay. I think it's going to be, I was told that it's going to be served here in the, he said it has been shifted to the Gurukul building. Gurukul building, so we have a big building that side. And so please, everybody requested to kindly participate in prasadam. With that, I'd like to thank all of you, and thank you very much. Hare Krishna.